Intel stock gained 90.1% in 2023. Can it make similar gains this year? Remember, it had a significant loss in 2022. Intel closed at $47.12 on Friday, January 12, 2024 at 5 p.m. Eastern, down slightly by 52 cents from the past week. What does the future hold? Stick around to the end. You won't want to miss anything. We'll look at the past and take a deep dive into what's happening now before looking into a crystal ball so you can decide if Intel is worth your money. Disclaimer: I'm not acting as a financial advisor, but rather, I'm sharing important information that I have gathered for you. So, let's start with the basics. Who is Intel and what do they do? That will set the stage for a concise analysis. Intel is a leading manufacturer of semiconductors. It is headquartered in Santa Clara, California. The company's name comes from integrated electronics. In 1971, Intel introduced the world's first programmable microprocessor, the 4004, which revolutionized the computing industry. The 4004 was followed by several generations of microprocessors, such as the 8008 to the 8088, which powered the first personal computers. From back then to the 8286 generation 16-bit microprocessors in 1982, to the Pentium in 1993, to the Core 2 in 2006 and Core i3, i5, and i7 in 2008, and continuing to the Sandy Bridge 2011 microprocessors, the Skylake in 2015, and all the other Lake-named chips since. Intel has been an innovator and leader in the personal computing CPU space and is still leading in that segment of the market. Intel also developed other technologies, such as the Ethernet, the USB, and Wi-Fi. However, a few years back, Intel started losing market share to NVIDIA and AMD. Intel faced delays and technical difficulties in its 10 nm and 7 nm chip production, which allowed its rivals like AMD and NVIDIA to gain an edge with their more advanced and efficient chips. The global chip shortage of 2021 and 2022, together with a slump in PC sales, supply chain issues, and the ongoing tech war between the US and China, have all contributed to the company's decline in recent years, before the rebound in its stock price in 2023. The chip shortage receded by the end of 2023, as well. Arch-rival Advanced Micro Devices, AMD, was hitting the right buttons in that challenging market, stealing market share from Intel in key sectors, such as desktops and data center servers. So, Intel's financial results fell short of Wall Street's expectations, and the stock fell 48.7% in 2022. It faced increasing competition from other chipmakers and foundries, such as TSMC and Samsung, which offered better performance and lower costs. Intel is now attempting to rebuild itself by restructuring its workforce, with ongoing layoffs into the beginning of 2024. Actually, the turnaround is headed by the new old CEO of Intel Corporation, Patrick Gelsinger, and started when he returned to the company on February 15, 2021. He is well regarded in the field. Patrick Gelsinger started his career at Intel in 1979 as a quality control technician and became the first chief technology officer of the company. He is known for his leadership and innovation in the fields of GPUs, graphics processing units, AI, and cloud infrastructure. Gelsinger's plan to revive Intel, called IDM 2.0, and which was announced in March of 2021, involves investing $20 billion to build 2 new fabs, where semiconductor chips are manufactured, in Arizona, and expanding its foundry business, which builds chips according to their customer specifications. Collaborating with external foundries, such as TSMC and Samsung, to produce some of its chips, while retaining its core manufacturing capabilities. Accelerating its innovation and product roadmap, with a focus on its 7 nm and 5 nm chips, as well as its GPU and AI technologies. With this plan in mind, let's look at the business segments in which Intel is currently involved. Its current reporting structure, as of January 2024, has Intel segmented into 6 groups. Client Computing Group, CCG. This segment contributes roughly half of Intel's revenue and focuses on processors and related components for PCs, laptops, and workstations. Data Center and AI Group, DCAI, responsible for about 35% of revenue. This segment offers server processors, gate arrays, and solutions for data centers and AI applications. Network and Edge Group, NEX, contributing around 10% of revenue. This segment provides network infrastructure products like switches and routers for data centers and the network edge. So, these 3 sectors account for 95% of Intel's revenue. The following 3 groups are where Intel will have to grow its revenue. Accelerated Computing Systems and Graphics Group, AXG, with roughly 5% of revenue. This segment focuses on high-performance graphics cards and AI accelerators used in gaming, professional workstations, and data centers. Intel Foundry Services, IFS. It offers chip manufacturing services to third-party customers. Mobileye, MBLY, acquired in 2017. Mobileye operates independently and is a leader in vision-based driver assistance systems for autonomous vehicles. So, let's look at what growth is possible. For CPUs, in December of 2023, Intel released the Core Ultra processors, code-named Meteor Lake, and its first integrated neural processing unit, NPU, for power-efficient AI acceleration and local inference on the PC. They also unveiled updated Xeon server chips and ultra-core chips for laptops and desktop computers. In January 2024, Intel launched a series of new processors across its mobile and desktop lines, including 14th Gen Intel Core chips for laptops and desktops, 14th Gen Raptor Lake Refresh processors, and 14th Gen Raptor Lake Refresh HX series CPUs. Intel also announced the upcoming release of Arrow Lake and Lunar Lake CPUs, scheduled for later in 2024. Looking ahead, Intel is set to launch its newest Xeon processors in years alongside new Habana Gaudi AI chips. The company also has Gaudi 3 scheduled for release in 2024, which is expected to outperform the H100. Moreover, Intel's Arrow Lake and Lunar Lake CPUs are anticipated to facilitate AI performance. However, this is all in the CPU business segments in which Intel already has an approximate 65% share. As for GPUs, the sector in which Intel is now trying to compete, its first-gen Arc Alchemist discrete graphics cards were not a success, with bugs that had to be fixed. In December 2023 and January 2024, Intel did not release any GPUs. However, Intel is planning to launch its next-generation Battle Image GPUs in late 2024. It is seeking to establish a presence in the GPU market and compete with products from other major players such as NVIDIA and AMD, but it's not there yet. It only has 3% of the market compared to 17% for AMD and 80% for NVIDIA. As for the foundry business, the $20 billion that Intel has invested in 2 fab plants in Arizona will not result in a payoff yet, as the 2 plants are not expected to be completed until the end of 2024 or beginning of 2025. So, what does this all mean? 3-month forecasts for Intel from 30 Wall Street analysts compiled by TipRanks has Intel with 8 buy ratings, there are 20 holds, and 3 sells. In this case, it would probably be better to go with the consensus and wait to see how things shake out in the next 1 to 2 quarters. If you look at it on a 2 to 3 year time frame, I am sure that NVIDIA, Intel, and AMD will all be up. However, in the short term over the next quarter or 2, I would rate Intel a hold. We don't really know whether Intel's GPUs will be able to compete and how their new chips will fare. There have been many challenges to NVIDIA in the GPU market, but it has continued to outperform in its core market. As well, AMD has been making inroads into Intel's core CPU business, so Intel will have to defend that lead and see if their newly designed chips will gain them back some of the market share they lost. It's much safer going with a portfolio that includes NVIDIA, AMD, and perhaps a third chip company such as Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, which controls about 90% of the market for advanced chips. Taiwan Semiconductor is the company that manufactures the majority of CPUs and GPUs for NVIDIA and AMD, as well as a good portion for Intel. To conclude, Intel is a strong company, but the Gelsinger turnaround still needs time to be a factor in its profitability. We will have to see the benchmarks of its new CPUs and GPUs, and the market response, and how the investment in the foundry business affects the bottom line. Intel will report fourth quarter and full year 2023 financial results on Thursday, January 25, 2024, promptly after the close of market. That will give us an indication as to where the wind is blowing. I will keep you updated. If you found this deep dive valuable, subscribe for more financial insights on Intel and other high-tech companies, like NVIDIA and AMD. Thanks for watching.